So actually, ITGC is nothing but ITGC is nothing but information technology governance and governance complaints, or information technology governance controls. We can call it as. So majorly, it's a subpart from the information technology governance risk and complaints. So this particular ITGC is indirectly called as IT audit. So here, strictly to our subject, the main role and responsibility what we need to do is just we need to verify, we need to identify, we need to find whether there is any gaps, or if at all some process is going on inside the organization. We need to audit that process with respect to with the SOPs, standards of procedures. Let's say I'll build an example and I'll say, see, firstly, we want to we want to set up ADFC bank. ADFC bank. So this is our idea. What's our business idea? We need to set up and establish a bank name with ADFC. Okay. So just, is it enough to name the bank and to keep it like that? Will people come and invest in the bank if at all we sat like that? So is it enough only to keep the bank for the namesake and people will come and invest in that? See, can I expect some
No,
reply?
sir.
One thing, before starting
No,
the
sir.
session, I want to give the prerequisites of this course. There is only one prerequisite in this course is communication skills. There is no need to be in the top notch with the technical aspects and technical skills. Here we need, here just we need, not we need, here just we need the communication skills. Daily, we need to attend more than 6 to 7 meetings in the organization once you step in into it. In that meetings, you need to speak.
We have to define the business goal and we have to give the promotion as well to reach the audience.
So here you're speaking in the, yes, it's right, but it's in the perspective of customers. But first, this bank need to decide how they want to govern. How they want to govern, right? That means how much staff they need and what are the equipments they need, who are their target base, what is the location they want to set up the branch. See, all these things will makes or will paves a path to the bank to just set up, and start their works, right? But here, what is the role of GR C means, G means governance. If in layman terms, just will go with the layman terms. What is governance? What is governance? I'm asking a question.
A set of sir, a set of policies and procedures, sir.
Yes. Here, what can we able to include in this case in ADFC bank scenario? What type of governance principles that we can able to include in that to make that policy, to make that procedure, and to make that whole organization to feel secured? Just give me some random statements, or I'll do, no issues. First, they thought of the monthly, the monthly turnover need to be 1 crore. This is one target they fixed. Clear? Any doubts till now? Any doubts till now?
No.
All good, Karthik.
Yeah. The next one is, the next one is, every month we need to hire 3 cashiers. Every month we need to do an audit to make sure that our processes are going well. So the bank adopted these 3 lines as their governance principles. First, they want to achieve the targets like monthly, they need to do the 1 crore turnover. And the second one, they need to hire every month 3 cashiers. And they thought of every month they need to do an audit to make sure that all the processes are going well or not. Whole the things, whole the process in the bank, they need to audit. So here, the role of IT auditor is, the role of IT auditor is just to see whether the bank reached the turnover of 1 crore or not, whether they hired 3 cashiers every month or not, and every month the audits for all the processes done or not. So this is our job role. IT auditor will see whether all the governance principles and all the things in the organization are placed in the right manner or not according to the policies and procedures which was prepared by the top level management. Clear till now?
Yeah, clear, sir.
So the 3 aspects comes under the designing or the
These are the IT
execution.
controls. Let's say, it's not about designing, it's not about anything, just it's a random example where I
Okay,
said what's the auditor's work.
okay,
Auditor
okay.
won't matriculate these things. The top level
Mm-hmm.
management of the organization will matriculate these things, and the IT auditor will make sure that all the things which was matriculated by the top level management are followed correctly, are followed very well versed in manner. Exactly, we need to see what organization said about this process, and what's the people in the process, or TLs in the process, or managers in the process are doing, whether both things are matching, or is there any gaps. So we need to see that. Clear?
Got it, sir.
Yep. So in order to achieve this targets, definitely there will be a risk, definitely some risks will occur, right? So in order to mitigate that risk, we need compliance. So basically all these things we will cover inside our course. So this class is mainly meant for the people who joined today itself, who joined today itself. So this is the whole agenda. What is our role? What is the things? IT auditor will just see all the processes and the procedures which are currently active in the organization are acting according to the management principles or not. We need to see that. That's only our job. Clear?
Yeah, clear, sir.
Devi, clear?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
And Saujanya, clear?
Yes, sir.
So today we'll discuss about what are the things, how the auditor work will look like, and what are the things we are going to cover inside our course. Actually, all these governance principles, all these governance principles, which are adopted, like literally speaking, every organization will adopt some frameworks to develop their governance principles. Every organization will adapt some frameworks to develop their governance principles. There are a number of frameworks. So there is a framework called PCI DSS. This framework is purely meant for, framework means the set of rules and regulations which the prescribed domain of your business need to follow. Suppose you are in banking sector, definitely you need to, your governance principles need to abide this PCI DSS framework. That means your governance principles will need to satisfy the PCI DSS framework principles. And many of the, I think you might listen this ISO, International Organization for Standardization. So this is also a framework which we'll discuss in our course. And GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation, this is also a framework. So this one also will discuss in our course, and I'll explain that as well, that framework as well. So in our whole course, we'll go through change management audits, incident management audits, vulnerability management audits, data loss prevention audits, risk management audits, endpoint detection audits, endpoint security audits, and access management audits, ISO, and GDPR. So this is all our course content. Any doubts till now?
Sir, frameworks and standards are both come from the same thing or different, sir?
Framework and
Stand
framework and
standard, sir.
see, both are very similar in nature, but the thing was that some standards won't be changed. Those are very static in nature sometimes. But in framework, if at all, let's say example of a photo frame, 6 by 6, the frame size is 6 by 6. You can able
Okay.
to keep any photo inside that, right? That 6 by 6 size.
Yeah.
If at all, your photo and your mom's photo, your family photo, your pets photos, anything you can able to fit there, right?
Yeah.
But standard, sometimes it's dynamic in nature, but sometimes it's very static. Very static. Somebody's calling me, or it's disturbance. Okay. So mainly our work will be like, this is the real time work what we will do once we enter into the organization. First, step 1, we will get a set of controls list from the manager, and in that he will specifies for which process or which team we need to audit. Step 1. Step 2, we need to ask what type of the audit we are doing. Is it SOC 2 or ISO or GDPR or what? Which type of audit we are doing for that? He'll specify that as well in the mail. So, step 3, we will study the SOP, and we will provide, we will set up Teams call with the respective TLs or managers of that process or project. Step 4, for the controls what we received from our manager in the step 1, we will make sure that we need to collect the evidences for the given controls. Step 5, we need to give our opinion on the project, based on the evidences we collected and the audit we done. Step 6, if we got any findings in the audit, then we will make sure that we need to ask the explanation for violating the actual control. Clear? These are only steps what we follow to do an audit. These are the steps we will follow for an audit. Any doubts in the 6 steps, or these steps are very clear to you?
So
Sir,
can
where does
you, yeah, go ahead. Somebody speaking. Yeah.
actually, sir, before step 1, we do any audit planning or after the step 1? Like, where does the audit planning will comes under?
Without knowing where you need to do the audit, how will you plan the audit? you don't know where to go, then how will you start your traveling journey? How will you start your journey?
Yes, sir. I'm asking about like in oil planning, we need to we need to
We no need
collaborate
to
with the.
see. It's not a startup to plan the audit, and it's not an external audit to do the audit. Audit planning is simply in this step two.
Okay.
Whether we need to do the SOC 2 audit, whether it's an
Mhm.
ISO audit or ISO implementation or GDPR.
Got it.
Sir, can you explain about the evidence? I mean, what exactly mean that?
Mm, let's say in the layman terms, like here the monthly turnover need to be 1 crore for that bank, right? The in my classes, the person who asked the question, he need to be unmuted till I given the answer. Is it clear?
Sure, sure. Sir.
Yeah, please speak something. Yeah, the monthly turnover of the bank need to be 1 crore, right? Here,
Yes, yes,
what what we spoke about this is a control. This is the governance control we thought of, right? As an
yes,
example, right?
yeah.
So here you are an auditor. You are an auditor. You need to see whether this statement is perfectly implemented inside the organization or not. How will you see this?
By checking, I mean, examination or evaluation.
How yeah, correct. Examination, evaluations are correct terminologies, and you're traveling in the right way. How you will make sure that the monthly turnover of the last month is 1 crore?
Maybe checking the financial records.
Ah, right. That's the evidence. Clear. That's the
Oh,
evidence.
okay, got it. Thank you, sir.
Here also, for all these managements, there will be some clutch points where we need to collect the evidences in the form of screenshots.
Okay.
It's very, if at all I need to say the layman truth bluntly, this is very process oriented job role where the jobs are plenty but the resources are very low, and even the trainers in this domain is also very less. Hardly will find one or two. But the key ingredient that we need to have to sustain in this field is communication skill. That's one and only skill we need to possess. If we don't have that skill, we need to practice. It's purely process oriented. See, these are the 6 steps in any audit. All these things need to go through all these 6 steps. Clear? Devi garu clear, and Saujanya clear.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Yes. So here we saw in the last point that fifth step will give some opinion, right? So majorly in any audit, whether it's SOC 2, whether it's PCIDSS, whether it's GDPR, whether it's ISO, any audit you speak, if at all, in that audit, you found some, let's say, small mistakes, if at all you found, then you will give in the audit, then you will give qualified opinion. When you will give the qualified opinion, if at all you found small mistakes in the sense in auditing language, minor gaps. If at all you found minor gaps in your audit, then you'll give the qualified opinion for the audit. If you find no gaps, that means there is no issues at all, then you'll give unqualified opinion. Then you'll give unqualified opinion. If you found some major gaps, if you found very major gaps, and those gaps can able to shut down the organization, it's very much like a threat. You founded some threat type of gaps is there in the security posture or in the any things in the audit, you found that there is major gaps, then you will give adverse opinion. What you'll give? Okay, let's wind up for today. If at all you're not feeling to react, or if at all you not feeling to speak, let's wind up today.
Sir,
You can.
Yes.
sir, this is Sairam.
Yes, Sairam.
Sir, actually, I have doubt. If we found any kind of deficiency in the control, so if we give an qualified opinion to them, like we'll give any kind of, we'll give any kinds of time for them to rectify it in a given time of period, or we need to give like we need to just path to that unqualified opinion for that particular control.
How can you able to find the deficiency in the control? First answer my question.
So while checking,
How you will check?
or while auditing,
How you will check?
like we'll get the data from the management, sir.
What data you will get? Suppose there is a change management audit is going on, what type of data will you get? Don't go beyond.
Yeah.
I'll inject everything. If at all I want to answer your question, I need to say the methodologies first. The methodology is what I am following, whether it's TOD or TOE. Do you have any knowledge about TOD and TOE?
I don't have answers yet, but I'm doing some homework. So yeah, the points comes to my mind. So I'm asking you that. So.
Write down all the points, but you are very ahead in the doubts because it will comes in day 5 or day 6. Once I started going in depth.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So it will call adverse opinion. So do you guys have ever heard about the Byju's collapse recently?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What happened over there? So there are multiple gaps that were found in the audit, but Byju's is continuously denied to provide the proper documentation to the auditor. So then the auditor resigned from the audit and he blowed the whistle. That means if at all you gone to some X organization to do the external auditing, so in that scenario you found some gaps, but the organization is threatening you to give unqualified opinion, then if at all you given the unqualified opinion by listening their words, then your license will be cancelled. Then your auditing license will be cancelled. That's why in that scenarios the auditors will resign from audit, not from the organization. The external auditor will resign from that audit. If the auditor resigned from that audit, from the prescribed audit, then that opinion will be turned as disclaimer opinion. Clear?
Yeah, clear, sir.
So,
So I had doubts.
yeah,
Sir, what are the same situation comes to that internal also auditors also, sir?
it's no. In internal auditing, it won't be like that. It will happen only in external auditing.
Okay. Good.
Yes.
Sir, I have a question. So either
Yes.
internal or external, the terminology is the same, right? For that, no gaps and minor gaps and
Yes.
major gaps. Okay.
Yes. The
Okay, got it.
gaps in the other way, we'll call the gaps as findings. The terminology is the same. The auditing style is also the same. The
Okay.
sampling methodologies, what the internal auditor takes and external auditor takes will be the same major. And trust me, guys, you won't get an opportunity to do the external auditing. Even though you kept 10 plus years, you won't get, because external auditing will be done by only CPA holders,
Certified
chartered
hold.
public, chartered public accountant. It's a license. It's not a certification. It's a license. The persons who have this license, those people only can do the external auditing. Those are only eligible for external auditing.
So you mean
Clear?
that only CA people eligible for this
Not
license?
CA, not CA. It's CPA. CPA means Chartered Public Accountant. The two, it's provided by US. These people are the signing authorities for this SOC 2 reports or any sort of auditing that are happening. If at all somebody is coming from PwC to our organization to do the audit, he is definitely a CPA. He is only without the CPA signature. Without the CPA signature, any auditing report is a useless paper. Clear? He is the signing authority. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
For
I have one doubt, sir.
yes, please go ahead. Ask.
Hello.
Yes,
Sir,
please ask.
we are here while doing auditing.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, I'm listening, ma. Please go on.
We find some gaps.
Okay.
We find some gaps. We do auditing for finding gaps only, na?
Actually, we will do audit. We we won't do the audit in the perspective of that those people are doing wrong. We won't do the audits like that. Just to maintain the proper way inside the organization, the IT structure inside the organization is going well according to the management standards or not. That's what we will see. In that process, if at all we found some gaps, we will escalate that. We will ask the team to answer to us why it was happened. This is the whole and soul heart of the audit. The whole and soul heart of the audit is not to find flaws. Audit is a process where to regulate or to monitor or to implement the ongoing process, whether they are doing up to the mark or not. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Saujanya,
if
you
you
asked
don't
the
mind.
question. You asked the question. I answered the question. Whether you understood that or not.
Sir, I'm not asking the question, sir.
Then who
Actually,
asked the question? Who asked the question in the team? Okay. So CPA holders are the ultimate signing authorities for the audit reports, whether it is a financial audit report or IT audit report. But they're only the signing authorities. That's it. They don't know anything about this IT auditing. Clear? There is somebody asked previously, like only CS can do this. No, because it's not financial auditing; it's IT auditing. Clear? But in external audit perspective, CPS only have the right to do the signature. Then only it's a valid audit report. That's what. Clear till now, or any doubts?
Sorry, if you don't mind, could you please explain adverse opinion again? Thanks, sir.
If you find major gaps, if you found some major gaps in the audit, which is becoming as a threat to your organization, then you'll give the adverse opinion. Simple. In layman terms, if you find minor gaps in the audits, you will give qualified opinion. If you found major gaps in the audit, you will give adverse opinion. If no gaps, you will give unqualified opinion.
Then what about disclaimer opinion, sir?
What you
Difference
listen, what
between adverse, sir, what is the difference between adverse and disclaimer? You explained something about the disclaimer about regarding the Baidu scam.
and I
Is it
said
different?
another thing as well. And I said another thing as well.
Actually, the management refuses to give that with the data or something else to the auditor, so he
If
just given
if
the disclaimer opinion.
if the auditor smelled something adverse in the organization, but the management the management is forcing the auditor should not to give the adverse opinion on the audit. Instead, he need to give the unqualified opinion. So just the management are threatening the auditor to give the unqualified opinion, where in the place of adverse opinion. In that scenario, auditor will resign from the audit. If somewhere, in some case, auditor resigned from the audit, then it will be treated as disclaimer opinion. Clear?
Got it, sir.
Yeah. So, what's the difference between internal and external auditors?
So one more
Suppose,
thing, sir.
yep,
Sir, did the CPA would publish those audit report in that market, like without their premises, like what are the disclaimer opinion?
he won't, no CPA will publish his audit reports publicly.
Okay,
Okay? It's against the rule. Even
okay,
after the audit, after some days, the evidence should be trashed.
okay, okay,
And the evidence is where we kept inside which hard disks. Those hard disks also need to be trashed.
okay.
It's very crucial and sensitive data. That's why the external auditors are very precious. So the difference between internal and external auditors are, if Sairam is a person who's working with TCS, okay, Saujanya is a person who's working with Wipro. If Sairam is auditing TCS internal controls, TCS internal controls, and publishing a report on that, on the audits and the controls what he audited, he will be called as internal auditor. If Saujanya is auditing the process in the Wipro where she is working, there itself she is auditing the process and procedures according to their manager's calls. Then she will be treated as an internal auditor. Here, Shyam is there, who is from PwC. If Sham came to audit TCS, then Sham is external auditor. If Sham came to Wipro and auditing the Wipro internal controls, then Sham is external auditor to Wipro. If the employee of the organization is auditing the internal security controls of the own organization, then he will be called as internal auditor. If any independent person, any person outside our organization is coming to audit our security controls, then he will be called as external auditor. Clear about the difference between internal auditor and external auditor?
Very much clear, sir.
Yep. So that's all for today. So any doubts till now? See, my teaching style will be like this, because I don't want you to feel regret when you sat for the interviews, because communication skills are key and core for this ITGC. If you're feeling shy, if you're feeling something, just leave it off, just throw it off and sit in the class. Okay, I will show all the real time and everything. I'll show each and every control. Let's say I'll show 1 second. Uh, Please confirm is my screen visible.
Yes, sir.
So this is one of the control what we regularly audit inside our organization. See, what's the risk description, the control classification, risk category, control objective, control activity, test of controls, each and everything. So these are the controls what we will audit inside our organization. So all these things I'll explain to you. All the evidence what we need to collect and what we need to showcase, everything I'll explain to you. So no issues in that. With my course, literally you can to keep 4 to 5 years or 5 to 6 years in ITGC. You can able to project that. That's my promise.
Sir, is it the same templates we do use on every organization or different based upon their terminology, based upon their functioning
Which
daily
template?
basis? Sir,
Which
just now you
template you're
showed,
speaking?
sir, just now you showed something, sir.
It's
In
not
your voice,
template, right? It's not template, right? These are controls. These are
okay.
controls, not templates. These are not at all templates. These are controls.
Okay, okay.
So that's it for today. And from Wednesday, we won't allow into the class the people who are just for sitting for 1 day or 2 days. Not for Wednesday. Confirm the people who are joining into the batch by tomorrow itself. Kindly, they only join to the batch. And remaining things, please speak with Mohan Garu once after the class. How to join and how to deal with all these things. That's for today. Thank you. Lastly, I'm asking again any doubts?
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Thank you.